To me, success was important, but you know, and I think this is true for almost everybody in the room. I think you have to love what you do. If you don't love what you do, you're not going to be successful. And I loved what I did. I did real estate. I went in early. I loved the creative process of building. I'll look at something, and that's what it was in my blood from the time I'm very young. My father built in Brooklyn and Queens, the boroughs, and he'd build single-family housing, whatever he built, but he'd save the nails and the sawdust and the chips of wood, and he'd take them and sell them. I mean, it's like extreme, but he was very extreme. And he did a great job. He was a very strong guy, but a good guy, a guy with a tremendous heart, but he was strong, very powerful type of personality. I say, Pop, is it really worth it? He said, yeah, it's worth it. That's the way you make money. And at a certain extent, you know, it's not penny wise. You got to save the pennies. You got to be, that's a great thinking. Real estate from the standpoint of tax benefits has been great. But I love the real estate business. I love the creativity of real estate. And I think I always will. Even as president, I'd say, boy, that's a great site for a building. Inflation has always been very good for real estate. But unfortunately, at the end, the whole thing pops. Okay, that's the bad part, you know. And you haven't seen that yet, and hopefully you won't. Ultimately, it explodes. You know, inflation is wonderful until it all explodes. And you got to be careful of that. You have to watch it. Sometimes they go into a business where basically you can't be successful. You know, nobody's successful. If you can get away from that, get away from it, if you can. But you have to make sure that you do something that you love. Try to go into something that you love that can be a good business. So, you know, a lot of people go into businesses that are just not good. When I talked about success, I always started, you have to do something you love. If you don't do what you love, you're most likely not going to be successful. And you know, you're going to have a lot of people, your parents included, they're going to be saying, don't do that, don't do that. And you have to listen to them. They're wise, they've been around. It's like, do we have a choice? We have to fight, right? We have to fight. We have to fight for everything, whether we like it or not. But the radical Democrats are willing to do anything, to smear anyone and to lie about everything in their craven quest for power and money and other things, I guess. I don't want to tell you what those other things are, but they're not good. These are the same bought and paid for politicians who let special interests write the laws, who push trade policies to enrich foreign nations, and who beg far-left judges to rewrite the Constitution of the United States to impose their own extreme ideology. The very same people who have made a living selling out American workers to foreign countries. They were closing the factories. You're losing your jobs. So we ended up with empty factories and no jobs. By the thousands, by the tens of thousands. They're trying to steal your vote. They're trying to steal your voice and steal your country. They're trying to steal your country. And they don't have what it takes. True power in our nation is not found in government or hallways or anywhere. It's found not in the media boardrooms. It really is where the strength is. It's in our people, it's in your hearts, it's in your courage, your spirit, your faith, and your pride. To every young person, you represent America's future. You are the best and the brightest, the bravest and boldest, and someday you are going to be setting records like nobody before. I'm telling you, I know it. Because you have what it takes to achieve real change. You're the champions for free thought and free speech. But you stand up for the oppressive forces, and you do. You stand right up to those forces in our country that demand conformity and control. You refuse to be censored. You refuse to be silenced, and you will never back down. And don't ever back down. You speak out for the values and principles that have made America the most exceptional nation anywhere on earth. And I will say this today, it's greater than it ever was before. Lifting up citizens of every background, race, religion, color, and creed. Really, more importantly, letting young people know that they have a voice. They're working hard, they're finding jobs, and they're getting good jobs. And if you don't like that job, you can get another one because you have a lot of choice. We come together at a time of extraordinary opportunity. I can't even imagine being so successful at such a young age, and we got it done. We're good at getting things done. Because really no American community is going to be left behind. Any community. Because we did something this year that was undoable. They said it couldn't be done. We passed criminal justice reform. We got the vote, and people were shocked. And nobody else could have done it. And it was horrible for the black community, for a lot of communities, but in particular black and Hispanic and some others. And they've been trying to do this for decades. It started with the Clintons. It was not good, right? We had a woman, Alice Johnson, who was this lovely woman, and she was in for about 22 years already. I mean, she served 22 years. And Kanye West came, and Kim came, and they said, President, could you do this? I said, do what? Do what? What are you talking? A woman's been in jail for 22 years. She's got another 28 to serve, I think, something like that. Think of that. And he said, sir, we need your help. We can't get 5 senators. We can't get this. We can't get that. We need your help. We need your help. Please, sir. Help me. Please help me. I said, I can get you those 5 senators. And I called 5 or 6 or 7 to get the 5. Sometimes you have to call a little more than the 5 if you want to get the 5, right? And we pardoned her. And we worked it so that she was going to be able to get out. And I'll never forget the scene. She comes out of this big prison, mean prison. And look, she admits she did wrong. But today it would be slightly different. And there are her children, but her children are now very grown. Big, strong guys, beautiful women, beautiful, just a big family. And they just embraced. So it's great. It's great. It's been a great thing. It was just incredible to see. And the tears, and they were just like one. It was incredible to watch. And I said, we have to do it with others. And I said, Senator, it's a great thing. We got to do it. People are in jail for 40, 50, 60 years for a crime that isn't even a crime today. And I guarantee you those are great people. They've been in there also for many, many years. You can't let everybody up because frankly, some are going to be there and they deserve to be there. But we say, Alice, who else do you think in that prison, you grew up, you were there for so long, 22 years, who else do you know that should be let out? And she gave us some names. And people don't like writing about it because they don't want to give the Trump administration credit. But I'm used to that. I'm used to it. You got to get used to it. You know who knows though? The people know. The people know. Large portions of the media are corrupt, perpetrating these hoaxes like never before. And they can't do that. They just can't do that. They haven't done anything for you. They haven't done anything. 100 years, they haven't done anything. While we're fighting for the American way of life, the hard left and the radical left is working to trample the rule of law, erode individual liberty, and exert a far-reaching control over our lives. But we will never let that happen where they take away your country. We will uphold the sacred principle of government by and for the people through generations of blood, sweat, and tears, and you deserve a government that defends your interests, protects your families, and cares for our own citizens first. Our philosophy is grounded in the sacred bonds of love and loyalty that unite all Americans, and we really have been united. It's been an incredible thing. A lot of great things have been happening. You don't necessarily see it at the top of government, where the hatred is tremendous, the hatred toward us. And a lot of it is because of the success. We're having such success. We must preserve the fundamental American rights that generations of Americans have sacrificed everything to secure. Puts you first, puts your families and your communities first. We will do what we have to do, but we will stop defrauding all of the people in our country because they've defrauded the people in our country. We'll defend democracy. And yes, we will drain the swamp. Believe me, we're just getting started. We have such potential, such potential. We will renew the values that unite our people.